Very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadel Kabira. This is a production by Nairobi Review. If you have an event that you'd like to be covered or content that you'd like to be shot, even photography sessions for your family, you can contact Nairobi Review Limited through nairobireviewlimited@gmail.com. Our conversation for today comes from Cherera and the four commissioners. They call them Cherera 4. Prof, how are you?
The opaque commissioners.
The opaque commissioners. This conversation, though, it has taken a different light. You know, we thought Raila will step down on it, not go forth with the rallies, but he came and announced they will start doing public opinion rallies, starting here in Nairobi, I think in Kamukunji. I just want to know your thoughts on that. But before you talk about that, we did a video, you did another one on Saturday, and you're getting a lot of sharp criticism. Some say you've become lukewarm, not the analyst they thought you are, because you're saying, give Ruto time. On the other side, you're saying, Raila should be ready, opposition should be ready to take government tomorrow. What are you saying? Msafiri says you're confusing Kenyans. That's one of our viewers, Msafiri.
I'm lukewarm.
Yes.
Then when I say this, Ruto people say Manyora is bad, move on. When I say this, it's normal. We are used to that. But you need to take time to listen to what people are saying. Yeah.
Who should take, you're saying Raila should take time? Or
no, even our viewers and those critics, they should take Msafiri, for example.
What are you saying? Because you're saying opposition act now as if you're ready to take government now.
What I'm saying is, we are moving, indeed, we must move from the mindset of elections after every 5 years. It's partly responsible for our problems. In democracies, especially parliamentary democracies, the opposition is always ready to take government today, not even tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm saying we are moving into a period of time in our elections where opposition should be ready to take over government anytime, not wait for 5 years. That is not to mean they must be reckless in whatever they do. I'm just, if appealing for caution is being lukewarm, then I'm willing to be lukewarm. Because I know people don't understand. It sounds kind of contradictory. I'm saying on the one hand, Ruto is making a lot of blunders. Get it? Government is making a lot of blunders. They appear not to have even imagined they could form government. Ministers are speaking at cross purpose. Moses Kure is saying this. The agriculture ministry is silent or saying something different. Mudavadi, from his prime office, is saying something, you know, even on issues just like maize alone. So what I'm saying is, on the one hand, Ruto and his government are making a lot of blunders. On the other hand, I'm saying, if Raila were to capitalize on these blunders and move Kenyans into action, we could get into some problem as a country. When you have those kind of problems, almost nobody gains. It will not benefit Raila, it will not benefit Ruto, it will not benefit Kenyans.
Only the person maybe.
That's what I'm trying to say. If that's being lukewarm, then I'm okay.
I want to know, is there anything Raila can do now? Because he's having these rallies for public participation to know about the fate of these commissioners, getting to know
Is he ready for the rallies? Is Raila ready for those rallies and mass action? Is he ready for the consequences of mass action? Because that's what he's saying is euphemism for mass action. In other words, the country is delicate. Number one. This government is so delicate and so vulnerable. If you pour people into the streets, are you willing to harness that into something progressive and useful to Kenyans? Or it will just be another round of mass action, destruction, lawlessness, and scaring investors away and everybody, and then you do nothing about it. Can you, for example, are you prepared to call Kenyans into mass action with a view of taking over government? Because if it is just mass action and talk rallies,
I don't
that
really
I can't
think
support.
It's mass action because he's calling it public participation.
That is it. What else can you call it? I'm told you two things. One, on the one hand, government is making blunders. While government is making blunders, this country is vulnerable. Government itself is shaky. Kenyans are not happy. There's so much that's making Kenyans angry and hungry. You see, if you put that on the one hand, and then you put Raila on the other hand, trying to capitalize on that as every politician does, without a strategy, for example, to take over government, you will end up in just chaos.
Yeah, you've asked him whether he is ready, but you are the
Raila has to tell us.
Do you think
Raila
he
has
is
to tell
ready
us.
as an analyst
I don't know.
to take over government
I'm not seeing
from previous history?
I'm not seeing the evidence. Because it calls for a lot of strategizing, a lot of thinking, and I've not seen any preparation to convince me Raila is ready to take over government if this thing boils over into removing Ruto from government, from power. And Ruto must know, getting out of power is very easy now. People are angry, and people are hungry, and a lot is going on that is bad. So there's a lot the opposition can capitalize on to move Kenyans into action.
Okay.
And you see, I keep telling these people in the government, because they are short-sighted. Just like Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila were short-sighted. They couldn't get what they wanted. Ruto is the same, short-sighted. Because I keep inviting them to the ugly reality that you don't need more than 50,000 people spilling into the streets of Nairobi for you to lose government. But there's nothing you can do. You can
50,000 people come to Nairobi.
What will you do if you are president? Ruto can talk tough, but what do you do? He must stop and ask. If 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 people marched into the streets of Nairobi, what can you do?
How should he respond now? Because Raila
You stop.
How should he respond to this?
You stop things like they are provocative. Unnecessary provocation, because you're already government. You are in power. Why are you following small people like this, Cherera, this commission? These are, for lack of a better word, this is just useless fellows. It's a useless case.
They don't have an impact.
So it's like you are provoking people. And they are going to use that. And you can go home. Hey, Ruto must listen to me.
Yeah.
You don't need more than 250,000 people in the city of Nairobi for you to
How
go
should
home.
they respond? Because the issue at hand now is the Cherera issue.
He should stop those things.
For Raila,
stop those things. Stop. They don't benefit him in any way. Once you win, once you are victorious after an election and you are the president, consider everybody else of no consequence, small, inconsequential, and move on. Raila will not have anybody to listen to him.
Let me ask you this, because so many people were wondering, can Raila really do something about the Cherera issue? If this is the issue, now you said in our previous video that if Ruto wants them gone, they are gone. He makes the tribunal, he has parliament.
Yes.
Is there anything Raila can do for this?
That's why I'm saying that's where the danger is. That's why Ruto should be advised.
Who should be the bigger person?
And he should listen to people like
Who should be the bigger person?
It should be the president who should be bigger, because you are the president. Forget about these cheap fellows. Their schemes didn't succeed. If they had schemes to derail democracy, like you are saying, people's will, it didn't succeed. You are a president. Ignore them. There's no better punishment than ignoring people who wronged you. Because revenge has never helped anybody in life. I know enough history of nations and kingdoms and of emperors and kings and presidents who won and embarked on revenge. They never succeed. Not in the long run. You never succeed. It never benefits anybody. So forget about the Chereras of this country. They are consequential. Even when you look at them, they are just desperate for them. Forget about them.
Yeah.
Because that's what Raila is going to use. Because Raila will have nothing else to use. And I'm saying Raila is not prepared because this is whipping emotions. It can take people to the streets, but how will it benefit you? Because in matter of IEBC, I don't care about Cherera and the rest, the opaque commissioners. What I care is we need a complete overhaul. So Raila ought to be coming up with a strategy that presents an overall, an overbearing kind of overarching global attention to elections in this country. So that the commissioners will be a small item in that global thing of looking at our electoral system. Okay. Because the idea is, whether Cherera or not, we can't go to another election with these fellows, with this IEBC.
As it is.
As it is.
The structure of
even the noise they are making about how they are going to recruit, oh, there is a bill in the parliament to change how they are recruited, it's useless. That should be useless. The idea is you must look at the bigger picture. And the only way to do that is ask one question. Can we go into another election with this IEBC? Whoever the commissioners are. You can't.
Do you think we need foreigners in our country to help us in our election, if that is what...
not at the level of elections, at the level of Supreme Court. Because my argument is, in 2007, we almost lost it as a country. And we paused and saw the danger. So we created institutions. What we forgot is how to put the right people in those institutions. So people in the institutions is also an issue. And for IEBC, it's not the commissioners. It's a lot bigger than that. It is how many commissioners do we need? How do we select them? You get it? It is what powers do they have vis-a-vis the secretariat? It is like my suggestion in terms of devolving management of election, so that there is a management of election at every county level, borrowing from America and elsewhere in the world. You know, taking care of the shortcomings in America where political parties, because in a county, there's a dominant political party. Yeah. So if they are the ones managing elections, you saw the Trump election, that kind of mess. We borrow from them, then we take care of the shortcomings.
I want to know, what is the danger of either entertaining these petitions or lack of entertaining the
we are creating space for we are creating room for chaos.
There's also a petition that was taken before Parliament to oust Chebukati and the other two.
And it's still there.
And it has been ignored.
They've been ignored. Those are the things I'm talking about.
What is the danger of entertaining or lack of?
That's what I'm saying. The Ruto government is presenting itself as an administration out for revenge.
Because one wasn't...
That is the perception. People have petitioned Chebukati to be removed. Right?
Yeah.
The petition is there. Another one comes much later. Not only does it receive speedy attention, the president himself comments on it. In other words, it's already I mean, their fate is sealed.
He called them rogue commissioners.
Yeah, that's finished. The process is over. Because the president is the most important element by way of constituting the tribunal. So it means there's no point of going on with the process.
What is your genuine opinion on this when it comes to these petitions? We have Cherera.
No, let me give you my genuine opinion.
And it seems from the Kenya Kwanza side, these people are hell-bent at changing the will of the people.
We need two things. We need to overhaul our electoral system. It's of no consequence who is a commissioner now, who is going out, who is replacing Chebukati. It's of no consequence. We need a bigger overhaul of the electoral system, not the commissioners alone. How do you select them and so on and so forth. But the bigger problem here is that the president must abandon this approach that seems to portray him as out for revenge. That's the most important thing. Because soon he will be saying, I shall listen to Manyora. He's setting himself for trouble.
Is he too deep in the waters? Do you think?
No, these are small matters. Why are you giving Raila a rope to hang you? You just withdraw the rope. You just tell everybody in your government, stop talking about Raila. Stop talking about the commission. You tell the institution, the judiciary, because you seem to be talking to them, let's not present ourselves as out to revenge or to protect certain people. Then Raila will lack something to do.
What's your advice to Kenyans once this rally starts by Raila, and of course they're going to see him, they're going to talk to him?
Why I'm saying I'm pleading for caution, I can see danger ahead. I have eyes to see when there is danger, I can see danger ahead. People are playing with fire.
You titled your video?
People are playing with?
Fire.
Fire. I want to repeat this so that the intelligence or whoever listens should tell President William Ruto, he doesn't have the capacity to control mass action. It used to make Moi tremble and shake. I have told you, he told us in the State House. Hii nyumba kulala si rahisi. Wajaluo wakati la he used the word Wajaluo. Wajaluo wakipika kelele huko town. Hii nyumba ilaliki. That was Moi. So let the president not think he has any capacity to handle mass action. He doesn't have. And we don't need it. It doesn't serve anybody. It simply doesn't serve anybody. Not Raila, not Ruto, not Kenyans. Because for Raila, he has not convinced me. He's prepared to manage the process of mass action up to and including him landing in the State House as the president of Kenya. Only then can I support it. If there's a sensible way saying this government is going the wrong direction, we need to do 1, 2, 3 to remove this government from power in very democratic means. That includes an election. And this is how we shall approach this thing. Before you think of spilling people into the streets. Because once people spill in the streets, that thing takes a momentum, a life of its own. Remember, when Raila started this thing of mass action, or protest in 2017, and Miguna and David indeed took charge, that thing Raila almost lost control of it. If he didn't do the swearing he did, followed by the handshake, that thing was going to have a life of its own. Even Raila could not have controlled it.
It's a very dangerous
Yeah, it's not
ground
good
we're
for any
treading
country.
on.
If you are ready to take over government, which is legitimate, show us how you want to criticize this government into pushing them into doing the right thing, and in the event they don't, how you intend to take over power in a very legit way through democratic processes. That I will support.
Thank you for tuning in. That is Herman Manyora, political analyst, commentator, being lukewarm this time round when it comes to a revolution coming.
People are telling me, even people are calling Manyora, kwani Ruto amekuona kando? No, but I'm just saying, you know, I love this country. I don't want to do things for the sake of
We
it.
can't know if Ruto...
How many of these mass action and revolutionary things like Sudan, how many of them have produced anything?
Countries
You
are
want to
still
know.
in
Have they produced anything?
Not really.
Because they don't have proper
Structure.
strategy and structure to take over power. Even Egypt, it was so big. But they just, then Americans came in and installed a puppet president.
Yeah. Gonna wrap this up. Until we do talk again, bye for now.